match number 3. Danielle McEwan knocked off Liz Johnson, the legend. 2-12-2-0-1. And Bryanna Gallipo, the next McEwan victim in match 2. So, Cote McEwan next here in match 3. McEwan starts. Dave Ryan alongside Kelly Kulick, 3-time U.S. Open champ. One of 11 players to win the U.S. Open multiple times, Kel. A lot to be proud of.
It is. It is. I had a good run this week. Second 3 other times to, one of the GOATs, Liz Johnson of all time. But Danielle and Bryanna right now are the focus. They're going for Brianna's first U.S. Open title. Danielle's possibly second. There's that 9-pin again.
9-pin doesn't get it.
We saw Diana leave it the last match. Danielle steps up. She's just pummeling the pocket, though. And here I thought scores of 180, 190 was going to be good, but you have the best players all week long performing. Their scores 190s, upper 220s. A little bit more left to right now, starting to creep inside towards that arrow around the 12, 13 mark, somewhere around there. Solid 9-pin.
In search of her 8th career PWBA Tour title. 9-pin. No worries there. Stays clean.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Tucson, Arizona, Bryanna Cote.
Searching title number 5 from Tucson, home of the University of Arizona. Is this her night to win a major? Whoa, flirts with a channel. Really had to hurry back. Starting way right and leaves the 2-4.
I have to compliment these microphones and headphones so clearly. You can see as she was starting to approach, you kind of hear a squeaking noise. That's her squeezing the ball. And just off her hand, left to right, really missed at the bottom of the swing. Hovers all the way out to the 1-2 board. Comes back and leaves the 2-4. Now, often enough, we saw the ladies, if they leaked it right, it was a 2-4-10, 2-4-8-10, 2-8-10 combination. Make will spare. I always say 9 is good, 8 is good if there's not a gap in between the pins.
Covers nicely, has a spare. Best U.S. Open finish, 2021, Rohnert Park, California. 7th in her career until now. 2C trying to win 2 matches and take the major.
Just going to take a little extra time here. Ball change right away. It could be a comfort feeling, not really sure, or she could 2-ball it on in the semifinal match. We did do that all week long, where some pairs, one lane was tighter, one lane hooked earlier. We often did use 2 balls, one different on each lane.
Big money on the line here tonight in Rochester. Cote strikes. Champion takes home $60,000. Half of that for the runner-up. So big prize final, lot at stake here.
Yes, thank you to USBC, BPAA, Bowling Players Association of America. Great prize fund for sponsoring the major event of the U.S. Open.
McEwan looks good.
Again, I watched Danielle last week in Cleveland when she lost to Lindsay, and I believe she shot a 240 or 250 game against her. Her focus is just so intense right now. One exact shot after the other. I mean, she's really only faltered 2 shots that I could think of along the way, where she left the baby split. She left the 4-pin throughout the first and second match.
Lost that one to Boomershine, Kel, 269, 258. Oh, that's great bowling.
Yeah, again, Lindsay missed twice.
Yeah.
Danielle missed 3 times.
Trying to keep it going. She told us last night, that's how you do it. Crunches the 1-3 pocket. And this pin stood no chance whatsoever. Crushes the rack. Let's go back to Carolyn.
So it was funny because when Bryanna had her practice shots, they really didn't like her look on the right lane. So her first game plan was, hey, look, I'm going to go with the ball I've been using on both lanes. We're going to see what happens, make the change if I don't hit the pocket. Well, on her first shot, she used her new reality on the right lane and went back to her old reality on the left lane. So they all shrugged their shoulders and said, I guess she made a last-minute decision. Let's see if it works out.
Light again leaves the 2-4 spare there. So the opportunity was women could drill bowling balls once they made the telecast. Same layout, same drilling, maybe just a different surface. One has a fresher curve than the other one. That one's a little bit more online, but you can see it still gets out to that 3-bore board zone down at about 45 feet. Light hit, 2-4 spare again. Bryanna did tell us in the interview last night, Dave, that of the 10 balls she got to choose for competition, she used one ball for 16 games, which, let me say, it's a head scratcher to me because I think I cycled through all 7, 8, 9 balls at one time trying to figure out what was going to be the best approach to the pattern.
Has the mark there. Incredibly challenging conditions. And you and I spoke last night, Kel, when we were talking to the bowlers about the scores you expected on the show, knowing the last pattern used in match play qualifying to get to this point. And you thought 180, 190 might be a good score. It's tough.
I did. I thought 190 is a double and one open frame along the way. Unless you have all spares, then it could be a 190 plus game along that way. It was expected to split at least once a game. I can count on my hand how many clean games I have rather than count how many splits I left. Now, my shot making was not as precise as these women on the telecast tonight, but it was just, again, challenging across all the lanes in this house.
Cote, two-time winner on tour last year, Rockville Center, Long Island, and the PWBA Dallas Classic. Trying to get back in the winner's circle, the 2 seed from Tucson. Keeping things very interesting here in match 3. McEwan looks for the turkey here, 4th frame to widen the gap. 236 at Bryanna when they went head-to-head in match play. Look out. 6, 7, 10. Split.
Just, again, slightly inward. She got off her hand a little bit more, I want to say tilted forward, where it got into a forward roll a lot quicker, really read the lane earlier. Watch right here off her hand. Just a little bit, yeah, kind of catches a little bit more. Thumb comes out earlier, fingers roll forward, almost in that same zone, but a sharp break at the end.
Hashtag Bowl Fearless, of course. And you have to, Kelly, to get to this point of this incredibly challenging format. The toughest event to win on the women's tour.
Well, so many questions, Dave. You wonder, do you play it safe or do you take the risk? Strike there by Danielle. Now, when the pattern is a little bit softer and easier, you take the risk because potentially if the scoring pace is 230 and you're averaging 205, you have to take a risk in order to find that 230 reaction. But when they're really tough and demanding like this, you just try to play it safe and control that 1-3 pocket. Keep the ball on line, make quality shot after quality shot, make your spares, and just breathe through each shot until you find a lane that gives you a little bit room, either left to right, or God forbid, if you had both, that would be fantastic. Bryanna looking for her first double here in the 5th frame.
Big shot, big strike.
Better shot, closer to the head pin, not as far right outside towards that gutter. She's almost in that same zone that Diana was in the previous match. Watch right here, looking to see where she's sliding. 16, so the laydown point somewhere around 8 to about 6, right there at 45 feet where that gutter marker is. It's about 44 feet where the ball wants to try to change direction on HPL lane surface, AMF HPL. Whatever the length of the pattern, it's usually about 3 feet after that the ball will start to migrate and change direction. Going back to the older reality back on that left lane, she's staying with it.
Big shot here. Looks for the turkey. 25 pin lead, left lane, crossing over, Brooklyn strike. Next stop, Prospect Park. Wow. Sometimes, Kelly, you get lucky. Sometimes you get a break at the U.S. Open.
Exactly, Dave. You know, and you have to take the breaks whenever they come. If it extends your lead, so be it.
Tough grind to get this far.
Yeah, Dave, I want to paint the picture. We had 4 90-minute practice sessions on each pattern. The fourth one, obviously, if you got there when you made the top 36, then to cut to the top 24. We had 108 bowlers, 3 squads, 8 games on each squad, 24 games, cut to the top 36, bowl 8 more games, cut to the top 24, 56 games in total. You add in practice, and each woman on the show tonight, plus the ones that made the top 24, had to bowl over 250 games this week alone.
Wow.
Probably 300.
Wow.
And that's low bowling it.
That's why it is so incredibly gratifying to make the show and then to win it. What a challenge.
And one pattern was a little bit softer, one pattern was medium, one pattern was very, very challenging, and then, of course, this TV show pattern's just as hard.
3-6. Danielle converts that, but had a big opportunity to cut into the lead into her 6th frame. So works on a spare to the 7th, down by 25. Cote, as we talked about, will go for 4 and 5 in a row to really put the hammer down possibly in this match. Clara Guerrero, our top seed from Colombia, tries for a 2nd title. It was a major. Goes for her first U.S. Open. One match away from that.
Uh-oh.
Starts right, stays right. Light hit 1, 2, 8.
That one just got off her hand really, really quick, going left to right. Launch angle was definitely off there. Watch as she slides, and then just, you could see her shoulder kind of and head move to the left. Her body, upper body misses it. Arm has a tendency, or hand has a tendency to kind of flare it out. Misses way right down the lane. 1, 2, 8.
Help on the 8-pin, down it goes. And avoids what would be a disastrous open frame. But now we'll get 28 pins on the bench for Cote and a chance to really widen the lead.
It's tough. I mean, she's been sitting in the commercial break. Danielle came back to bowl the 2 frames. She threw the Brooklyn strike in the 6th frame for 3 in a row.
Pendant on the left shoe there, Kel, for Cote, that honors her late grandfather Ray, who passed away in December of 2022. They were very close. She bowls to honor him tonight and strikes. Big one right lane there for Cote. Bryanna said it was so hard to know she could make the show and Ray couldn't watch.
Yeah.
Honors him for sure with that pendant. Back to CDB.
So Bryanna in the 6th frame, she just bowled the 7th, so it was the 5th frame. She went back to the old ball on the right lane where she had the strike. Here's the funny though, during the commercial break, she came over to the ball rep and they said, "Hey, we thought you were going to start with the old ball on both lanes," and she goes, "I just forgot." So she made the move in the 5th frame, and so far it's paid off.
Comes a little high there this time. Carolyn left lane leaves the 4-7. But she has bowled a great match so far. You're right about that.
Yeah, and when they talk about the old bowling ball, it's not like it's 2 years old, 3 years old, 3 months old. It just means that the more the ball goes down the lane, the pores in the ball are very large and they start soaking up the oil. And what that does is it makes the ball want to go a little bit longer and not have as much traction. The ladies drill fresher covers off of our PWBA tour truck. Same layout, same drilling. However, there's more texture in the cover stock to allow it to grab even sooner and read that lane condition.
4-7. Got that.
I do love the PWBA Tour, and there are a lot of new faces I do not recognize, and I think that's fantastic. Seeing all these younger, youthful ladies come out and support the PWBA Tour and give it a go. Ball change for Danielle McEwan now in that right lane.
More from Carolyn about that ball change.
Yep. Steve Jacobs just came over and said Danielle wanted something that was a little bit longer, but still not as drastic off the back of the pattern. She is making the ball change on both lanes, and let's see if it happens.
I know as the women start to migrate inward a little bit further left, it became a little bit inconsistent. Again, a little bit topography, the pattern length itself, the volume of oil, the 2 different oils, the extra excess down the lane. So the women try to keep their angles in front of them and not make big adjustments moving inward.
Danielle, perfect shot, left lane. Delivers a huge strike foundation frame to keep things very interesting here in match 3.
That was a great call by Danielle and the ball reps themselves. Cycling from a higher RG ball. She started from a low RG ball to a high RG ball. And again, we got to check in 10 bowling balls to choose from. One is definitely going to be your spare ball. 9 assortments along the way just for this one specific pattern. We could not drill between blocks. We had to declare before we even started the round robin of 24. Bryanna also using a very strong RG bowling ball, meaning that the numbers are around 248. Our lowest RG is 246, meaning the ball wants to slow down and grab very, very quickly. However, you have something in a higher RG number, radius of gyration, meaning 252, 257. It wants to extend and have a lot of length down the lane. So one is using a really high RG ball, one that wants to get down the lane, and one is using a low RG ball, which stands for radius of gyration, to get the ball to pick up even sooner.
Big strike, a mark to shut out Danielle. And move on to the championship match where Clara Guerrero awaits, the top seed. Big shot. Cote, left lane. Yes! Got it. Taps the 10, down it goes. There's that mark. Basically keep it on the lane here, and this one is over. Cote will knock off Danielle McEwan and end her bid for a second U.S. Women's Open.
That was tough. I mean, Danielle obviously had that one open where she split. She had the 7 count in the 7th frame, makes the ball change to double. Bryanna Cote catches a good break. She turns a Brooklyn crossover strike for 3 in a row, which then she throws a pocket shot for 4 in a row. Steps up in the 10th frame knowing a strike will shut out Danielle McEwan, and she does it with precision.
Second championship round appearance of the season for Cote. Ball change here. Taking some knowledge.
Boy.
That looks pretty good.
And you can hear her
That's
say,
a win.
oh boy. She wasn't really sure about that brand.
Cote advances. Clara Guerrero is next here in Rochester. The championship match is on the way on CBS Sports Network. Who wins the green jacket, the trophy, and the big bucks? We'll find out.